Welcome to part 3 of our coast-to-coast tours of amazing fun facts, one from every state in the Union. So far, we've traveled from Alabama to Montana, uncovering everything from a town named Santa Claus to the invention of sliced bread. Now we venture from Nebraska to Rhode Island, with 13 more stops on our journey. Each state holds its own unique story, and we're here to tell it. Let's keep the adventure rolling. Number 27, Nebraska, 37th state. Nebraska is full of wide-open spaces and golden fields. But what sets it apart politically is that it's the only state with a unicameral, nonpartisan legislature. That means it has just one legislative chamber, not two. This bold structure was put in place in 1937 thanks to U.S. Senator George Norris, who believed two chambers were redundant and too susceptible to party politics. Nebraskans voted to simplify the process and remove party labels from the ballot. Today, Nebraska's unicameral remains a one-of-a-kind experiment in American democracy. It may not be flashy, but it's practical, transparent, and proudly unique, just like the Cornhusker State itself. Number 28, Nevada, 36th state. Most people think of Las Vegas lights or Reno casinos. But Nevada is actually the most mountainous state in the lower 48, with more than 300 named mountain ranges, from the Ruby Mountains in the northeast to the Sierra Nevadas in the west. Nevada is a haven for climbers, hikers, and skiers. The variety of elevations creates microclimates that feel worlds apart: desert below, snow above, and while tourists flock to the neon skyline, locals know that some of the most breathtaking views in the state aren't from a hotel suite, but from a mountain peak at sunrise. Number 29, New Hampshire, 9th state. New Hampshire is home to the first ever presidential primary in the United States, held in 1920. Since then, it's become one of the most influential political events in the country. Every 4 years, candidates flock to small towns and diners across the state, hoping to win over voters face-to-face. A strong showing here can make or break a campaign. Despite its small size, New Hampshire plays a big role in shaping the race for the White House, earning it the nickname first in the nation. Number 30, New Jersey, 3rd state. Atlantic City, New Jersey, was the birthplace of a beloved American icon, the first boardwalk, built in 1870 to keep sand out of upscale hotels and train cars. What started as a practical fix became a booming cultural strip filled with shops, arcades, snack stands, and sea air. It turned a sleepy beach into a seaside spectacle. To this day, the Atlantic City Boardwalk remains a top tourist draw. And if you've ever played Monopoly, you've strolled it in your imagination. Those iconic property names were based right here. Number 31, New Mexico, 47th state. New Mexico was the site of a world-changing event, the first successful test of an atomic bomb. Detonated in the desert at the Trinity site on July 16, 1945. The explosion lit the sky in blinding white light and unleashed a force no one had ever seen before. The scientists of the Manhattan Project stood in awe and fear as they realized what they had built. Today, the Trinity site is open to visitors just 2 days each year. It's not just a historical landmark, it's a moment frozen in time, marking the beginning of the atomic age. Number 32, New York, 11th state. New York's Empire State Building was built in a flash, just 410 days during the Great Depression, becoming the tallest building in the world when it opened in 1931. Construction crews worked at dizzying speeds, sometimes adding more than a floor a day. It was a feat of ambition, steel, and sweat at a time when jobs and hope were scarce. Today, it's one of the most iconic skyscrapers in the world, a symbol of resilience, progress, and New York grit that still pierces the clouds with pride. Number 33, North Carolina, 12th state. North Carolina proudly wears the title First in Flight. Thanks to the Wright brothers' historic 1903 flight at Kill Devil Hills, near Kitty Hawk, the brothers chose the site for its strong winds and forgiving sand dunes. After years of experimentation, their biplane soared for 12 seconds, covering 120 feet, but it was enough to change history. That sandy takeoff spot is now part of the Wright brothers' National Memorial. North Carolina didn't just witness the future, it helped it take flight. Number 34, North Dakota, 39th state. North Dakota is home to the world's largest metal sculpture, a massive installation called Geese in Flight that stretches 110 feet long and 32 feet high. It's part of the Enchanted Highway, a 32-mile stretch of road lined with giant metal sculptures of deer, grasshoppers, and even fish, each one handcrafted by artist Gary Greff to revive his rural community. It's roadside art on an epic scale. What started as one man's dream has become a bucket list attraction that proves even the quietest places can inspire awe. Number 35, Ohio, 17th state. Ohio has launched more astronauts into space than any other state, including Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, and John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth. This legacy has earned Ohio the nickname Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers, a title that began with the Wright brothers in Dayton and carried forward into the stars. From bicycles to boosters, Ohio has always been on the front lines of flight, and it's still fueling the dreams of future astronauts and engineers today. Number 36, Oklahoma, 46th state. Despite being landlocked, Oklahoma is packed with water, home to more man-made lakes than any other state, with over 200 created by dams and reservoirs. These lakes were built primarily to control flooding and provide water for agriculture and recreation. Now, they offer thousands of campsites and boat ramps across the state. From Lake Texoma to Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma is a paradise for fishermen, campers, and weekend adventurers, proof that even a prairie can hold a lot of water. Number 37, Oregon, 33rd state. Oregon's Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the United States, nearly 2,000 feet deep, and it's famous for its stunning blue waters formed inside the remains of a collapsed volcano. No rivers flow into or out of it. It's filled entirely by rain and snow, making it one of the cleanest and clearest lakes in the world. Visitors can hike the rim, take a boat to Wizard Island, or just sit and stare. In a state full of natural wonders, Crater Lake is the crown jewel, deep, still, and mesmerizing. Number 38, Pennsylvania, 2nd state. Pennsylvania is home to the first American zoo, the Philadelphia Zoo, which opened its gates in 1874. It began with 1,000 animals and was one of the few public places where people could learn about wildlife from around the world. It even had a small train to take visitors through the grounds. Today, it's a world-class zoo with over 1,300 animals and an emphasis on conservation. From the Liberty Bell to lion cubs, Pennsylvania has always been a pioneer in history and in heart. Number 39, Rhode Island, 13th state. Rhode Island may be the smallest state, but it was the first to declare independence from Britain. On May 4, 1776, that's 2 months before the Declaration of Independence, while other colonies were still debating, Rhode Island had already made up its mind to break free. This bold move fit the state's character. Rhode Island was founded on freedom and had a history of resisting control. It was the only colony that refused to join the First Continental Congress. When the time came, Rhode Island didn't wait, it acted. Today, Rhode Island celebrates May 4th as its own Independence Day. The state may be tiny, but its early stand for liberty shows just how powerful a small voice can be when it speaks up first. And that brings us to the end of part 3. From metal goose sculptures to atomic bomb tests, boardwalks to spacewalks, these 13 states continue to show us just how rich, wild, and wonderfully weird America can be. Next stop, the grand finale. In part 4, we'll wrap up our adventure with the final 11 states, each with one last amazing story. See you there. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and click the notifications bell for more exciting videos. Stay curious, we're just getting started. Click on the link so that you can enjoy part 4 as we continue our journey across America.